Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to Friday, February 28th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Nick Newman and Daniel Romalotti Jr. will be committing a cover-up as Billy Abbott deals with additional Phyllis Summers accusations. First, following the strange burner phone calls from Phyllis and Sharon Newman, Daniel and Nick might swap notes. Given that both women allegedly misplaced their phones and abruptly left on travels, it will seem odd. Red flags will also be raised by the fact that Sharon and Phyllis contacted each other at the same moment, but Nick and Daniel will insist that everything was okay. For the time being, that should be sufficient to allay any serious worries because Summer Newman genuinely heard Phyllis's voice while Nick heard Sharon's. But when Billy returns from Paris and looks for information about missing Phyllis, he will undoubtedly have further concerns. Summer might warn Daniel and Nick that she was following significant business leads, just as Phyllis urged her not to tell Billy. Nick and Daniel might use some concealment in their next conversation with Billy because of this. Daniel and Nick may pretend that Phyllis simply took a brief me-time break, but Billy won't understand that kind of explanation. Billy will continue to have doubts about Phyllis's abrupt trip announcement and the true nature of the situation because she was so eager to start working at Abbott Communications. Billy can end up predicting that Phyllis would have problems as a result. As their kidnapper leads them on a trip down memory lane, Phyllis and Sharon might be given additional puzzles to solve. Since the goal of the game is to relive Sharon and Phyllis's past, it will be interesting to see all of the reminders that appear. According to YNR spoilers, Audra Charles will have a heated conversation with Holden Novak. Even though Audra acknowledges that she told Nate Hastings about their previous relationship, Holden might see that she wasn't entirely truthful. Holden might point out that their interactions were more than casual because Audra minimized Holden as someone she had a few dates with. During their time together in Los Angeles, Audra and Holden developed a strong bond, but she doesn't want Nate to believe there's anything to worry about. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, Audra will enforce the rules and pressure Holden to keep his distance, but there will still be more turmoil. Let's discuss the true reason why Phyllis Summers and Billy Abbott don't work together longer, as spoilers for The Young and the Restless show indicate that they have terrible chemistry. It goes without saying that Michelle Stafford and Jason Thompson are both gifted and appealing performers. Let's just admit that Thompson and Stafford do a fantastic job bringing their characters to life. The fact that Gina Tognoni played the part the last time Phyllis and Billy had a passionate romance, however, must also be addressed. The drama took use of Billy's smoldering chemistry with Tognoni's portrayal of Phyllis, who cheated on Jack Abbott with his own brother in a passionate affair narrative. After the affair was revealed, Billy and Phyllis became a real relationship, although it's difficult to see them together again today. We don't see any on-screen chemistry between Stafford's Phyllis and Billy, despite the fact that they make excellent friends and co-conspirators. In her Valentine's Day vision, Phyllis and Billy had a few sweet moments, but they may not have passed that chem test. Simply said, Billy and Phyllis don't seem to be sparking right now, at least not enough to keep this love triangle with Sally Spectre going. That might indicate that Phyllis will ultimately pursue another uninterested man. After being obsessed with Danny Romalotti, Phyllis had to come to terms with the fact that he only wanted friendship. Phyllis was once again a loser in love when Danny went with Christine Blair instead. Is that also how it will work out this time around? Will Phyllis end up humiliated and devastated after pursuing Billy? Many fans of YNR are hoping that Phyllis will finally find a man who would pursue her and with whom she can truly start a future. This reunion attempt may fail on Phyllis's end because our predictions suggest that Billy and Phyllis won't have an enduring love story. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, Phyllis will alter her tactics along the way, so tune in for more updates on her plans to pursue Billy. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 28th, promise a day filled with suspense, secrets, and simmering tensions as the residents of Genoa City grapple with the fallout of recent events. At the heart of the drama are the mysterious disappearances of Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers, whose sudden and unexplained absences have left their loved ones deeply concerned. As the day unfolds, Billy Abbott, Nick Newman, and Daniel Romalotti Jr. find themselves drawn into a web of suspicion and cover-ups, while Phyllis and Sharon's captor continues to manipulate their every move. Meanwhile, Audra, Charles and Holden Novak engage in a tense confrontation that could have far-reaching consequences, and the lack of chemistry between Billy and Phyllis becomes increasingly apparent, raising questions about the future of their relationship. The episode is a masterclass in soap opera storytelling, blending emotional depth with high-stakes drama to keep viewers hooked. The episode begins with Nick Newman and Daniel Romalotti Jr. comparing notes after receiving strange burner phone calls from Sharon and Phyllis, respectively. Both women claimed to be fine and insisted they were out of town for personal reasons, but the timing and circumstances of their calls raise red flags. Sharon told Nick she was in Sedona for some rest and relaxation, while Phyllis informed Summer Newman that she was handling important business matters. The fact that both women supposedly lost their phones and reached out at the same time strikes Nick and Daniel as highly suspicious. However, since Nick heard Sharon's voice and Summer heard Phyllis's, they reluctantly accept the explanations for now, clinging to the hope that their loved ones are safe. Despite their concerns, Nick and Daniel decide to keep the details of the calls to themselves, especially when it comes to Billy Abbott, who is bound to have more questions upon his return from Paris. Billy's suspicions are immediately piqued when he seeks updates on Phyllis's whereabouts. Summer, following Phyllis's instructions, warns Daniel and Nick not to reveal the truth to Billy, leading the two men to concoct a cover story. They tell Billy that Phyllis decided to take some me time and left town for a while. However, Billy isn't convinced. He knows Phyllis was excited about her new role at Abbott Communications and finds it hard to believe she would abandon her work so abruptly. His gut tells him something is wrong, and he begins to suspect that Phyllis might be in trouble. Billy's growing unease sets the stage for a deeper investigation into Phyllis's disappearance, as he vows to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, in captivity, Sharon and Phyllis continue to navigate the twisted game orchestrated by their captor. The captor's focus on their shared history becomes increasingly clear as they are presented with more riddles and challenges designed to force them to confront their past. The latest clue leads them to a series of reminders about pivotal moments in their tumultuous relationship, from their bitter rivalries to their fleeting moments of camaraderie. As they work together to solve the riddles, Sharon and Phyllis are forced to acknowledge the pain and betrayal that have defined their interactions over the years. Despite their animosity, they begin to develop a grudging respect for each other, recognizing that their survival depends on their ability to set aside their differences and work as a team. Back in Genoa City, Audra Charles finds herself in a tense confrontation with Holden Novak. Audra admits to Holden that she told Nate Hastings about their past connection but downplayed the nature of their relationship, describing it as a casual fling. Holden, however, isn't willing to let her rewrite history. He reminds Audra that their bond was far more intense than she's letting on, pointing out the deep connection they shared during their time together in Los Angeles. Audra, determined to keep Nate from worrying, insists that their past is irrelevant and urges Holden to keep his distance. However, Holden's refusal to let go of the past suggests that more drama is on the horizon, as Audra's carefully constructed facade begins to crack. The episode also delves into the complicated dynamics between Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers, highlighting the lack of chemistry between the two characters. While both Jason Thompson and Michelle Stafford are talented actors who bring depth and nuance to their roles, their on-screen partnership fails to ignite the same spark that Billy shared with Gina Tognoni's version of Phyllis. The previous iteration of Billy and Phyllis's relationship was marked by passion and intensity, culminating in a steamy affair that captivated viewers. However, the current pairing feels lackluster by comparison, with their interactions lacking the sizzling chemistry needed to make their romantic storyline compelling. Phyllis's recent Valentine's Day fantasy, in which she imagined romantic moments with Billy, only underscored the disconnect between the characters, leaving fans unconvinced of their potential as a couple. The lack of chemistry between Billy and Phyllis raises questions about the future of their relationship, particularly in light of the love triangle involving Sally Spectra. Sally has made no secret of her feelings for Billy, and her growing frustration with Phyllis's attempts to win him over adds another layer of tension to the storyline. As Phyllis continues to pursue Billy, it becomes increasingly clear that her efforts may be in vain. Her history of chasing after men who don't reciprocate her feelings, most notably Danny Romalotti, suggests that she may be destined for heartbreak once again. Many fans are rooting for Phyllis to find a partner who truly values her and is willing to fight for their relationship, but it seems unlikely that Billy will be that person. As the episode draws to a close, the various storylines converge, setting the stage for even more drama in the days to come. Billy's determination to uncover the truth about Phyllis's disappearance puts him on a collision course with Nick and Daniel, whose cover-up threatens to unravel. Sharon and Phyllis, meanwhile, continue to grapple with the psychological toll of their captivity, as their captor's game grows increasingly sinister. Audra's confrontation with Holden hints at deeper secrets yet to be revealed, while the unresolved tension between Billy, Phyllis, and Sally promises to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks suggest that the drama in Genoa City is far from over. Victor Newman's feud with Jack Abbott is set to escalate, with Claire and Kyle Abbott caught in the crossfire. Summer's determination to fight for Kyle could lead to unexpected twists, while Michael Baldwin's secret spilling may have far-reaching consequences. Audra's efforts to maintain control over her narrative will be tested as Holden refuses to let go of the past, and Phyllis's pursuit of Billy could end in heartbreak. As the residents of Genoa City navigate love, betrayal, and danger, one thing is certain: the next 2 weeks will be filled with gripping storytelling, shocking revelations, and emotional moments that will keep fans eagerly tuning in. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 28th, promise a whirlwind of drama, intrigue, and emotional turmoil as the residents of Genoa City navigate their complicated lives. At the center of the action is Billy Abbott, who finds himself grappling with growing suspicions about Phyllis Summers' sudden disappearance. Meanwhile, Nick Newman and Daniel Romalotti Jr. are drawn into a web of secrecy as they attempt to cover up the strange circumstances surrounding Phyllis and Sharon Newman's burner phone calls. As the day unfolds, relationships are tested, secrets are revealed, and the past comes back to haunt several characters in unexpected ways. The episode kicks off with Daniel and Nick comparing notes about the bizarre burner phone calls they received from Phyllis and Sharon. Both women claim to be fine, but the timing and nature of their messages raise red flags. Phyllis and Sharon supposedly lost their phones and left town abruptly, which only adds to the mystery. While Nick heard Sharon's voice and Summer Newman heard Phyllis's, the reassurance that they're okay is enough to quell immediate concerns. However, the situation is far from resolved, and the men are left wondering what's really going on. Daniel and Nick may decide to keep the details of the calls under wraps, especially when Billy returns from Paris and starts asking questions about Phyllis's whereabouts. Billy's suspicions are bound to grow as he seeks updates on Phyllis's sudden trip. Phyllis had been enthusiastic about her new role at Abbott Communications, so her abrupt departure doesn't add up. Summer, who was warned by Phyllis not to tell Billy about her business leads, may pass along the same caution to Daniel and Nick. This could lead to a cover-up, with Nick and Daniel downplaying the situation and suggesting Phyllis simply needed some me time. However, Billy isn't likely to buy this explanation. Knowing Phyllis as well as he does, Billy may sense that something is wrong and even predict that she's in trouble. His concern could set the stage for a deeper investigation into Phyllis's disappearance, potentially uncovering the truth about her and Sharon's captivity. Speaking of Phyllis and Sharon, their captor continues to play a twisted game, forcing them to revisit their shared history. As they are taken on a stroll down memory lane, the women are confronted with reminders of their past conflicts and connections. This psychological manipulation adds another layer of tension to their ordeal, leaving viewers wondering how they'll escape and what the captor's ultimate goal is. The storyline promises to delve into the complex dynamics between Phyllis and Sharon, offering fans a chance to reflect on their tumultuous relationship over the years. Meanwhile, Audra Charles finds herself in a tense confrontation with Holden Novak. Audra admits to telling Nate Hastings about her past connection with Holden, but she downplays their relationship as casual. Holden, however, isn't willing to let her rewrite history. He points out that their bond was far more intense than Audra is letting on, which could create friction between her and Nate. Audra, determined to protect her current relationship, lays down the law with Holden and insists he keep his distance. However, this confrontation is unlikely to be the end of the drama. Audra's past with Holden could continue to haunt her, especially if Nate starts to question her honesty.